Alright guys, today we'll be crafting one of these.
Craft an Aboleth.
What?
If you craft an Aboleth, I'll get you some ice cream. The vanilla kind. With sprinkles.
Today we'll be crafting an Aboleth.
Welcome to another episode of Franky D Crafter. If you like what you see, subscribe. Now, let's get crafty. Let's start by crafting the mouth. This is the material you will need for that. You want to start with a piece of note card, and you want to make a cone out of it. I glue it together using hot glue. After you're done making the cone, add a drop of hot glue to the inside of the cone, and then just allow it to cool. Start adding a bit of glue to the sides of the cone and start putting your cut toothpicks in one by one, basically spiraling out from the center. You know what I'm saying? In some cases, I add water to speed up the cooling process. I'm impatient like that. Add a rim of hot glue to the end of the cone. Another thing you can do is add PVA glue on the inside of the mouth to make it even stronger, to make sure that the teeth stay in there. And this is what you will need for this next part. Add hot glue to the outside of the cone and then roll up a folded block of aluminum. Twist it as much as possible. Add more hot glue around the aluminum near the mouth. For the whiskers, we will use these wire things. Sorry, I forgot what they were called. But bend them like snake-like shapes. Bend 6 of them. I glue them using the hot glue, but if you're gonna do this, do it one at a time, unlike me. I'm impatient. Sorry. Here you see me using some water to speed up the cooling process. To add more volume to the whiskers, I use hot glue. Here you see me being impatient again. I just start dipping the whole thing in water. And to add a little bit more support, I start adding a little bit of hot glue around where the whiskers start. I realized that the cup wasn't big enough for the other whiskers, so I just went ahead and got a bigger container. I love dipping this thing in there. Bloop. Now let's get on to the fins, and I'm not gonna lie, I might have gone a little bit overboard on this one. I made these things huge. I'm just cutting out my design from a cookie box thingy, or you can use cereal box for this as well. I'm just skipping forward here for a second because I want you to do this step before you add the sticks and outline where you're gonna cut the fins. Now just start adding your sticks. This is gonna be a little bit different than from other videos like the sea serpent video. We're gonna double layer it this time, adding one on each side. I do make it easier on myself on this video, but if you want to see the hard mode, check out the video I did on the sea serpent tail and on the sea serpent itself. This way of making the fins is a little bit easier than on the other videos. I'm texturing the fence with the same technique that I've always used on these, but in the future I might try to do something else. I'll try to experiment with things. If you guys know of any way, just let me know, cause I am curious. It's not working as well as it used to. Now let me show you why you want to cut this before you put the sticks in here. Cause this was, and I don't want to curse, but this is pretty tough to just cut through the toothpicks with scissors, and I couldn't really do it with other things either. It just wouldn't cut because of the glue. So I kind of struggled through this for a minute. But once I was done struggling, I just glued it in there. I was so happy to get it in there. Oh, I was done with that part. What? I gotta make another one? Ah! At least I had learned my lesson on this one. I did not make the same mistake. I make a small cut on the tail, and this is where the fin will go. I think this helped. I'm not sure. You could see I'm kind of starting to doubt myself while recording this. This tutorial is slowly just falling apart. I'm sorry. No, I pulled through. Don't worry about it. And also don't touch the hot glue with your hands like you see me doing here. I have fireproof hands, so I'm good, but I don't think you will be. Right here on the fins, you see me applying it a little bit different, the hot glue, but honestly I think I should have just used toothpicks or something to kind of scratch at the glue. I might do another video with some other monster and try to figure out a better way to do the fins. I'm very happy with how they came out. I'm just wondering if I can make them better. Alright, on to the final step. Add clay to the main body and allow it to harden before you continue. Let's get on to the eyes, and in a way you kind of want to make a platform for them. I put 2 on the front and then 1 on the back closer to the fin. There are many different types of designs for the Aboleth, and I ended up going with a mixture of like 2 or 3 of them, and this is what I came up with. One thing they all had in common were those alluring eyes right there, all 3 of them. Cool. We're getting there. We're gonna start adding the fins. And to make it easier to attach, add a little bit of water on the actual figure before you actually start putting these things in. And a little fun fact here, I call them fins, but they're really mouths. The more intelligent the Aboleth gets, the more intricate its language becomes. So it needs multiple mouths to be able to mix and match all types of sounds. Alright, we're gonna use those fishy decorations, the purple ones, and we're gonna cut them and use them as fins. For this specific touch, I think this is the only glue I trust for this job. I have tried things like PVA glue and hot glue, and this is the only one that actually holds up over a long time. And here I'm just spreading the glue without actually removing any of it. For the second one, I had to actually curve it just a little bit, but whenever you're doing this, make sure to add a good amount of it. Don't cheap out on this, because it's gonna fall off if you cheap out on it. And I'm just adding one more just because whatever, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so that's it. After that, it's just the painting. First I primered it black, and then I added this pavement grayish kind of apple barrel paint. Then I dry brushed this granite gray, also from apple barrel, almost like an underpainting. I then painted it over like this, but then realized I already have a creature in this color scheme, so I went with purple instead. And right after, when I painted it purple, I got inspired to make it almost like a bioluminescent kind of feel to it, and then I just went with it. I dry brushed a little bit of that gray again around the mouth, and then I went around with the white and kind of put dots around it, and also painted the eyes white so that when I put the color on top of it, it'd come out really nice. I suggest that you also paint the fence white to make the red that I'm gonna apply on top of it even better, or look even better. This right here is just a horrible picture for a tutorial, since my paint's facing the other way. A squirrel bit through my tap, which defeats the purpose of this citadel things, I guess. End of the story is I use this one for the teeth. Here I start blending an orange onto the red. Great picture, right? I didn't even get the actual paint in the picture. The tutorial is falling apart again. Here I did my final highlights in yellow. And look, the yellow's in the picture. And for the very final step, I just mixed in a lighter purple from that same purple, and then just dry brushed it in until I had the color that I liked, or the hue, you know what I'm saying. Now I have crafted an Aboleth before, as you can tell in this picture, but there's something about this one that I really like, and it just might be me liking everything to kind of look cartoony, or liking things to be exaggerated. And I know that when I put this on the table, my players are gonna freak out. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm about to enjoy some ice cream.
What? You would have done the same.
Thank you very much again for watching this episode of Franky D Crafter. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, subscribe. I'll catch you on the flippity side.